everybody, it's TR. I had somebody comment they wanted to check out the Desert Yellow Ibanez Gem. It's actually a Gem Junior, but there it is, and bang for the buck, about 500 bucks. Like all my guitars, I've modified mine, put some pro parts in it, but good bones. And sort of what we're going to talk about today: boomers, tonewood, and guitar myths. Stay tuned. So, hope everybody's having a good day. Anyhow, I technically am a baby boomer. I was born in 1960. See the Papa t-shirt, 5 grandchildren. Right at the end of the baby boom. Brothers and sisters all much older. They are all definitely baby boomers. So if you're on the internet, guitar forums, Facebook groups, whatever, boomers got the rap for believing in tonewood and loving expensive instruments, aka Gibson guitars. Well, call me the exception to the rule. I do not believe in tonewood because I am a scientist, okay? And science tells me that tonewood is a bunch of BS. That said, I have some Gibson guitars. I don't have any ridiculously expensive ones because I realize that tonewood doesn't matter and all of that voodoo that, oh, well, they use the good wood for the expensive ones. No, the expensive ones have very ornate, detailed finishes on them. But essentially, this mild-mannered, budget-priced Les Paul is the same shape, the same neck shape, the same frets, same tuners, same pickups. It's essentially the same without being finished off and pretty. So, much friendlier on my budget. If you must know, I paid $809 for this brand new. Anyways, you don't hear it. That's because the way it's going to sound different is not plugged in. Plugged in, it's going to sound the same. And I'm not going to go into the details. There is a country musician in Nashville named Jim Lil, L-I-L. Google his video. He'll prove it to you if you don't believe me. Anyhow, I just wanted to let you know that all boomers aren't drinking the water when it comes to the tonewood. And you can say I don't know the difference because I don't have a Les Paul custom, but I'm not going to pay that kind of money. And for what it's worth, I don't play this that much. I really don't. I like having it. I've got like another 4 other affordable Gibson guitars, an SG, and 3 other Les Pauls. Is it 3? Yes, it's 3. I have a cherry and 2 black ones. Yeah. So I have, just for what it's worth, I have a studio that is vintage, by the way. It's a 92. Bought that brand new. Northern Music and Video doesn't exist anymore. Bought it off of Alex Vangelo. Awesome guy. I've got a Junior Special, a Special, and I've got an SGJ that I've done some work on. So that's what I wanted to talk about anyways, is the whole thing with the boomers. And so what do I play? I've got my 80s shred style guitars that I love. By the way, that opening was, I had somebody comment that they wanted to look at the Desert Yellow Gem. And so anyways, it's a Gem Junior, not a real gem. There again. Back in the day, the old boomer thing, I'm not going to play no Japanese guitar. Well, I would like to be playing a Japanese guitar because you know what? They're really good. But back in the day, that was the code word for a really cheap guitar, a Japanese guitar. Well, that's a bunch of hoo-ha. Just like now, Chinese guitars are the ones that are no good. Okay, what do I play all the time? I play something like this. See that? That's an Epiphone. Compared to that guitar over there, this cost about the same. However, in all fairness, that guitar over there now, if you're going to buy one of those, you better be shelling out like $1,200-$1,300 because that's what they go for now. These, I think, go for close to $1,000. There again, I get a deal on everything. I paid a little over $7 for this. On sale to begin with, and then I talked them down because it didn't have the right pick guard. It's supposed to have a non-beveled pick guard because it's a 59 replica. And it came with a beveled pick guard, so I gave them a ration of doo-doo. And they knocked 10% off the guitar. And I got a hold of Epiphone, and they sent me the right pick guard. Do not tell Zounds. Anyhow, this is non-weight relieved, just like old school. It's got a long neck tenon, like old school. This has Gibson Burstbucker pickups. This has CTS pots with old school wiring and Mallory capacitors. This has a Switchcraft toggle switch, the Switchcraft jack. So, you know, yeah, pretty much, unless you believe in the magic wood. If you drink the water and you believe in the magic wood, then you need a real Gibson because this is no good because it's Chinese. A little graphite on there from where I lived in it. There's your big thing with the Les Paul, by the way. Oh, my Les Paul, they don't stay in tune. You need new tuners. No, you don't. You need to lube your nut. This is a poor design the way these take off at an angle like here, but if you make sure the slots are cut to follow the angle, which, by the way, the one modification I did to this, it came with a Graphtec nut, which is a very good nut. But I thought since everything else was a vintage replica, I would go bone, so I put a bone nut on it. So, best Les Paul I own as far as quality and playability, even though I own 4 Gibson Les Pauls, is this one. So, I don't know. I guess I'm not going anywhere with this other than the fact that boomers are supposed to love their tonewood, but not all boomers. Some of us boomers towards the tail end were still around in the 80s, and we kind of got fond of crap like this, which is about as non-tonewood as you're going to get. By the way, one last little note, tie it all together. The Steve Vai Gem and the 80s guitars, they use a lot of basswood because it sounds great. No, basswood doesn't sound great. Wood doesn't sound like anything if it's plugged in. Basswood, as I read, was selected because the weight is very consistent. And when Steve Vai worked with Ibanez in designing that guitar, that was something he was really concerned with, that they all be about the same weight. Go on Sweetwater. They will show you the individual guitars they have. Compare weights of certain guitars. You'll find out all the models will be close to each other, and other ones will vary drastically. And the ones that vary drastically will be the ones that are made of the woods that are inconsistent. That's simple. So anyways, a video about nothing at all, and maybe something at all, but just to give my opinion, and not all boomers believe in tonewood and magic pickups and all of that stuff, and that's the way it is today, I guess. So you guys have a good day. TR out.